So for quite a long time, I did not know the significant meaning and value of taking refuge. I also underestimated its important and its crucial role in my spiritual path. I often forgot the simple yet profound teaching of the Four Noble Truths. No wonder why unsteadiness in my practice again and again brought dissatisfaction into my heart, also skeptical doubts. Oh, emptiness is too difficult to understand, or difficult to study and to understand. Oh, liberation is impossible. Awakening is impossible. Liberation and awakening is for spiritual giant, not me. So I'm very grateful that the theme of this winter retreat really helped me really understand why refuge and the Four Noble Truths are intertwined, how they support, complement, and nourish each other. And the more I contemplate the truth, especially the truth that the Buddha presented in my own experience, the firmer the conviction that I have, the firmer the conviction I have that suffering leads to the end of suffering. So today I would like to share the progress of how I work with my suffering from the beginning until now. So as a nun, as a baby nun, as you already know, I try to avoid suffering, unsatisfactory, and pain as much as possible. I try to run away from it or distracting myself from it or blame others and the situation for my suffering. I want to give an example of running away from my suffering. So, of course, the easiest way is to skip my session, my AM and PM practice, by making an excuse that I'm not feeling well. But actually, I'm exhausted from affliction of my suffering. Could not sleep very well. All the rumination, on and on and on and on. And to distract myself from my suffering, I try to eat snack, take a nap, watch the news, try to listen to the teaching or study, but it's impossible. My mind just like continue ruminating. Oh, why this person told me this? Why da 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 da? And it seems to me running away from my suffering or distracting myself from suffering, it doesn't solve the suffering. It is because suffering follow me everywhere I was. And how about blaming others and situation for my sufferings? I want to give an example. Like I got angry because I missed I was angry to the gate agent because my flight got delayed and I missed connection. Or I got angry at the kitchen manager team when they approached me on the flex day to ask me whether I can cook for the community. So it seemed blaming others just breed more resentment and aversion. It made me hold grudge to others, and of course, it's terrible that I try to plan to revenge, to retaliate and get even. So it seems to me that I realize that I'm never to be free of suffering through avoidance. So my next step is to try to apply antidotes. But I find that apply antidotes is just a temporary relief of the symptoms. To be honest with you, I spend 59% of my time and energy dealing with my affliction and suffering in my early monastic life. That's why I realized that affliction and suffering are serious recurring problems in my practice and in my monastic life. So I need to do more and more work on that. So the next progress is I have a little bit more courage and clarity to acknowledge and accept my affliction and suffering. That is the big steps. And then I said, in order to do, I cannot stop from there. I need to have a clear understanding of my suffering, and especially to have a correct analysis of the causes that given rise to suffering. For example, I will pick two examples earlier that I share. Why I was angry at the great agent when I experienced flight delay and misconnection? Are they responsible for that whole thing? The flight delay was caused by many causes and conditions. It's not their responsibility. The reason I angry at them, I think, is invalid. It's because I don't understand impermanence, uncertainty, unpredictability, constant changes. That is the major cause of my suffering. And the second thing is because I meet what I don't like. It is my inner reaction to disagreeable situation or events. And because I cling to the expectation that things should go the way I expect, the way I plan, that is the really cause of my suffering. It's not about the gay agent has nothing to do with my suffering. And how about angry at the kitchen team when they approach me to cook on Flex Day? Why I'm angry? They have nothing to do with my anger. It's about my self-centeredness. It's about that I cling to my plan. Hey, my Flex Day, I have a plan to take a nap, to go for a walk, to rest. So then there's two solutions. Even I accept to cook, but I cook out of resentment, out of obligation. Even if I refuse to cook, I still get angry with them because, hey, why don't you ask someone? Why did you ask me? Did you know that I have a plan? Why did you want to? So the more I understand I have a correct analysis of my suffering or my affliction, I think the more it brings me joy instead of it's so beautiful. And then my next thing is what study and practice will help me uproot the cause of my suffering. I found that I learned, this is very interesting that I learned from, I forgot the book though, Working with the Five Hindrances. Ajahn Tigradamo said this: why too much theory can get in the way of direct experience. Having at least some knowledge of the Buddha teaching give us some context of our experiences. So these past few years, I focused on studying the Four Noble Truths, refuge, especially dependent or the 12 links of dependent or origination, the 3 higher trainings, the 6 perfections, the 4 foundation of mindfulness, and especially the 5 aggregate of clinging that cause me suffering, and the 6 senses, and the senses object and the 6 faculties. And then my next question is, how can I taste the truth that the Buddha presented? Do I need to go to the cave, to the forest, to some holy site like a Bodh Gaya to meditate, to taste the truth? Bhikkhu Bodhi in the A Noble Form Path said this, and it's fascinating. He said, the place where the truth is to be realized is within ourselves. It's the truth of our own experience. It is to know directly. it can be reached only by understanding our experience. And I think this is fascinating to me. So I would like to share a few examples of what he meant by that. During my illness recently, because of my taking antibiotic, I lost my appetite. So on my bed, I was craving for something salty and spicy. And it's just so simple, just soy sauce and chili pepper. It was so intense that during the moment of craving, you got so confused between need and want. In my mind, I don't say, I need this, I need this, I need this. So after a short while, I realized that, hey, I don't die if I don't eat that spicy soy sauce. What's the problem? So I laugh very hard at myself, and it's a big relief, a moment of a relief, a moment of freedom from non-attachment, a moment of contentment. And then there's another, and then yesterday, is that yesterday? At the stand-up meeting, I was saying that today I'm gonna clean the chapel to prepare for winter retreat. We're supposed to start today, but then 1 minute later, I heard that no, winter retreat started on the 28th, without because I've been prime my mind with that impermanent. So the impermanent pop up right away. Oh, constant changes. I drop that frustration and upset. That is so powerful. So I would like to share a few benefits of working with suffering, because I realize that the more I experience the truth in my own experience, the more faith, confidence, and trust in the triple gem naturally increase. I don't need to push at all. And as the result, I open my heart in respect, gratitude, and devotion toward the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. And by working with my suffering, I've been experiencing a lot of moments of liberation from experience just the single of impermanent, like the experience, the change in the winter retreat, the moment of letting go of my desire of my soy sauce, spicy soy sauce, like that. Or seeing that instead of getting upset at the noise that people create in the chapel, when one person joins the chapel, I use the sounds as seeing that, dependent origination of all the mental aggregate arise as an impersonal condition process from the sound. So it turns it into a, so the chapel is no longer a place of suffering, but I'm joking that it's a place of liberation and awakening. And in addition, I think the last point I want to share is suffering give me a fresh impetus to study and do a lot of preliminary practice so that I can develop wisdom to uproot my suffering. Because 2 years ago, while I was reading in Upper Gautami with a group of young adults who came here for the young adult exploring Buddhism, one of the young adults asked me, Venerable Pende, do you meditate on emptiness? At that time, I told her that I was not ready for that yet. I want to meditate on emptiness when I have a very clear understanding of why do I need to meditate on emptiness, and what are the preliminary practice I need to prepare myself for that. And now I'm very happy that I'm ready for that. Not only I meditate on emptiness, but I want to get direct experience from my practice, from the mindfulness and very deep concentration to gain the insight, and I've been gain my direct experience on impermanence. So it's so powerful. So maybe may we take full advantage of this, all the conducive condition for this winter retreat to deepen our refuge in the trip program and to taste at least the truth of the Buddha teaching. Thank you for listening.